I'm gonna be honest, I kind of didn't want to show this part of the sequence except for during a kind of fast forward of me doing this, but here we are. I'm gonna redo my desk setup. The big thing is that I have my corner, which you saw in a previous video, where it's predominantly for gaming and for streaming, but I sometimes do editing on it. Now, but what if I want to talk and I don't want to be talking to you from the side, or I don't want to necessarily be impeded by the lack of space in my video and I actually want to have more space. I don't have a particularly big room. In fact, where this camera is sitting, where the back tripod leg is, there's maybe a foot left before it touches. Now, luckily I'm using a really cool 16mm lens and that helps with depth. But this is just kind of here because I needed it to be here, but now I want to use it. It's kind of a dead corner right now, and as I'll show you in the video, everything's kind of a mess because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the style of this room. At some point I'll probably do a completely simple and monotone look with some RGB lighting and stuff. Who knows? I have yet to get to that point. But for now, I want to at least be happy with what I have, with some exceptions. So some of you may be like me, in where you have limited space, you already have stuff set up the way you want, or somewhat, and you're not happy with what you want, but you don't have the money to shell out for a massive makeover. Knowing that I'll be in this house for a while, we've only been here 2 years, but we'll be here for a while, I'm like, well, why not make my studio the way I want it? It's not exactly set up for videos. Now, I could turn off these lights. Actually, I forgot to do that because I'm a dummy. And all I did was cut off the overhead light. I'm still using my key light, which I don't have a dimmable one, but this is what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about working with as much as you already have and then just kind of fixing it up a little bit, adding some flair. So to do that, I have a couple things. Oh God, this is heavy. Oh, and I hit the camera. So this part is not supposed to be beautiful. I'm not taking these out yet, but I'm going to tell you what these are. So you see these monitor stands? So since I don't have a super wide desk, I don't particularly have the means to, dang it, to elevate my monitors. Now, I could put them on the desk, and some people do that. I prefer to have it the more studio efficient way because I do actually record occasionally, and I like to play guitar a lot here, and I need the near-field monitors to basically be face level. So what I opted for, what I just dropped on the ground, because, oops, they are clamp-on monitor studios. That allows me to put them on this desk, which, again, not a permanent fixture, but this is about using what you got. So I spent, you know, a little bit of money on those. I'll leave a link in the description below as to which ones I got. So that'll clean up a little bit of space behind me. And it also gives the desk more room to move around. Now, right now, my iMac is on it, and I'll probably have it illuminated. Still leave it on the bamboo stand that it's on for now because it looks cool. And also, one future note is, yes, I will be in chair for this video, and probably for future ones because I forgot to get a stool, but I do recommend getting a stool because that way you don't have this back and also you have your arms free. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna tell you to do that too, but I'm not gonna do it in this video, so my bad. As for the next thing, so I like my wall art, I really do. That was cool when it was centered and everything, but I'm moving this. Now, I'll probably still leave these up, but for now, again, this isn't about changing things up too much. So what I have here is a little LED neon backlight. Now, I'm not gonna show you which one this is, but clearly there's options from the seller I bought. I checked it to make sure. I just got this in today. I checked to make sure that it didn't break. I don't know if it works, but we'll find out. But I'm excited nonetheless because I want to keep kind of a minimal thing. I've even got some lights that, oh, if I'm going to tell you about something, I should show you what it is. I just got strip lights, and I could put it behind the desk, but I really like the idea of illuminating more, so I'm actually going to connect it to the back of my iMac. I recently, this year, upgraded to a MacBook Pro for my main work laptop, and it's also what I predominantly do my photo and video editing on, because as powerful as my PC is, everything I do works in the Mac ecosystem for work. I have finally caved and went back to the iPhone purely for the fact that I can use AirDrop for Instagram posts. That sounds really sad. But also, I do a lot of stuff that involves needing to have things optimized for iOS. It is what it is. Team Pixel 2 forever. But I have these LED strips, and while I'm going to have that on in the background, I will also have this light on, in addition to the LED light I just showed you. And my goal is eventually to put some ones on the desk. But again, I want to take this kind of minimalist setup, and I want to create something a little more cool with it. Also, I really want to clean up all this clutter. Yeah, let's try to make the best out of this little train wreck, and we'll hopefully make something a little cooler. So I hope you enjoy, and we're hopefully going to go from something like this to this. A little better, huh? A little bit closer now. Lighting's a little bit better. It's a lot cleaner up right back there. It's not perfect. Obviously, you can see I still have a little bit of my long table showing in there, but it gets the job done. And again, this is all about working with limited space, limited resources, and a lot of these things I already had. Really, the only additions I had were what you see in the lights behind me. The two biggest things that I added that I thought would be pretty cool, now, and they're kind of blurred out right now, but I put the LED strip behind me on the back of the iMac, and then above it, obviously, like I said, it's blurred out, but it's a cloud with the Thunderbolt. Now, right now, you can't tell that in this kind of frame, but the thing is, one, adds light in a direction that I really like, and when I'm looking at it, it's just inspirational. I can sit at this desk and I don't have to have a million lights on. I can just have those two on with the iMac, and we're already in such a better place. Now, I'll show you kind of where I'm set up, but right now I've got a key light, which typically would be where the camera is if I'm streaming, but right now I'm not at that desk, so it's over there. Then to my right, to your left, for right now, until I have a dimmable small key light, I'm actually using one of my lamps that I've had for forever, and what I did was point it away from me. So even though it's closer to me and it's creating sort of a harsher light than the key light because I only have the key light on for 2 bulbs and it's further away, I actually end up focusing in everything a little bit more. Now, if I had more space and I wasn't up against the wall, like if this was in the center, then I'd have this even further back so I could have a really blurry background with that nice 1.4 aperture that I'm using right now. But you know what? I kind of like how it is where you can see what's behind me but not too blurred out. Yeah, I think this is a really good setup, and it should be pretty versatile. I think I'll be able to change colors, so I can change it for moods. I can use my floodlights if I need extra colors. But the biggest thing is that I decided to spend a little time just placement. And yes, my room is still messy. I haven't taken out the trash for the stuff, for the boxes that these came in, but it works. I think the biggest thing is to be a little bit creative. So kind of like my lamp, if you can take the opportunity to use something you have and you're maybe not using, like this thing has not been used in a couple months because I have all this extra lighting set up and everything's in different places. It just didn't make sense. It was taking up space until now. And that's until I have to use the tripod that's in the box because I bought one that can support my L bracket that I'm going to start using. But for now, it's a good stand, and eventually I'll work on getting an actual key light that has its own stand that's dimmable and change colors so I can have a little more effect. But for now, I'm really happy with this. It's all about, and I say this a lot in my videos, and I'm going to be saying this a lot in my videos, it's about making do with what you got so that way you're not getting in the way of yourself when you're creating. You don't have that super sharp lens, that's fine. Can't afford that super expensive camera, but you have something that works, that you like, that's fine. If you use your lamp that you've had for forever and then a key light from a set that you've had for forever and all you had to do was just add a little bit of lighting in the background, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, get out there and be creative. I look forward to sitting in front of this desk and editing. And I actually, even though I'm kind of limited on space this way because of some guitar stuff, I'm actually really excited to try and figure out a way to do a sideways perspective of this. Part of the challenge that I want to have for this YouTube is constantly challenging myself and challenging you guys to make do with what you have and really create what you want to create and not limit yourself purely because of tech or because of gear, because of money. If you've got something that you can use, make the best of it, because there's been some phenomenal things you can do with so little. And there are people who have less expensive gear than I do and less space than me, who I truly envy how their stuff looks. As always, thank you so much for watching my video here, talking a little about this. And you're gonna see this space kind of evolve over time. I'll clean up my cables, I'll clean up that background. Eventually I'll do something with the wall. I'll add some more lighting as I needed. But I love showing this kind of process out to you guys. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing, hit that notification button, and give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a comment in the section below if you have anything about your gear that you have questions about, or if you have any stories about how you created the best look for yourself. Please, absolutely, if you have videos and pictures of them, share them with me, and I'd love to check them out. But as always, have a good day, a good evening, a good rest of whatever part of the day you're in, and I'll see you next time.